We'll start off in the nation's capital, where the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says the military will deal decisively with subversive elements inciting violent protest across the country. General Musa, who spoke to State House correspondents in Abuja after a meeting with other service chiefs and heads of security agencies with President Bola Tinubu on Monday, cautioned those flying the Russian flag, saying it is a treasonable offence. Some protesters in the northern region of the country have been spotted waving the Russian flag as the demonstration entered day 5.
The president has also said we should convey this, that we will not accept anybody, any individual flying any foreign flag in Nigeria. That is treasonable offence, and it will be viewed and treated as such. So nobody should allow himself to be used by any individual. Also, the issue of coups. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Nigeria is a democratic nation. All security agencies are here to defend democracy and make sure that democracy continues to strive. We will not accept anyone pushing or taking any action, seemingly or for whatever reason, to want to push for any change of government. Democracy is what we stand for. Democracy is what we continue to defend. For those of them flying flags, if you see a lot of them are kids being pushed to do that. We're following up with those ones that are sponsoring them, those that are pushing them, because you know the flags were also made. We identified those areas and we're going to take serious action against that. The president is clear on his instructions for us not to accept anyone that wants to disrupt the peace and tranquility of Nigeria.
Now, for more updates, TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akande joins me on the news. Femi, just listening to the Chief of Defense Staff there saying democracy is what we stand for. I'm quoting him now, and democracy is what we would defend. In terms of that meeting, talk to us more about, the next line of action that the military might take in dealing with some of these issues arising now.
Yes, well, most of what the military will do next, they would keep that up their sleeves. We expect some kind of very discreet and sometimes clandestine move by the military, to apprehend all of those that they say are subversive elements that threaten national security. They have also already started that. We have seen the arrest of people who are making some of these foreign flags and handing them out to protesters across on the streets in some parts of the country. So what the military is saying is that beyond arresting those making the flags, they would also find out or continue to investigate if indeed there are some financiers or some certain sponsors behind these people, and they would ensure that all of these people are severely dealt with. The military has a responsibility to protect the sovereignty of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and they say that they will do to the later. After meeting with the president, all of that was behind closed doors because matters of security are not usually discussed in the open. But they have briefed Mr. President and also taken fresh directive from Mr. President about how to contain the whole violent protests in some parts of the country. We have seen state governments respond by imposing curfews in volatile areas in the state. The military had also the military have also stepped up to the plate, increased surveillance, and also positioned their men at strategic positions across the country just to restore peace and ensure safety of lives and property. Precious.
And what about the nation's capital in terms of the security arrangement there to ensure peace? Because one of the things, and I know that this meeting is a follow-up to what the president's speech on Sunday, and one of the things he said was that, look, he is saddled with the responsibility of ensuring, the safety of lives and property. Talk to us about the security arrangement now in the nation's capital as well.
Well, the threat level has already been raised, not just in the nation's capital, across the country, but that of the federal capital will be quite different because it is the seat of power. We have also seen an increased presence of security operatives across the state capital, especially at strategic points leading into the state capital. At some point, there were some kind of roadblocks where people in vehicles were asked to identify themselves, and those who could not properly identify themselves were turned back. But in all of that, they have still remained very civil during their engagements, during this stop and search to ensure security. So at least in the federal capital, everything, the situation is calm and really peaceful. And you know that surveillance have also been increased, not just in the capital, but in other border towns, Abuja, border towns to the federal capital, especially around areas like Karo, Suleja, and other parts leading into the federal capital. There's an increased presence of security men around there. We have also seen patrols around the state capital, just trying to identify flashpoints and try to maybe exterminate any threat or disturbance of public peace anywhere it is found. Precious.
State House Correspondent Femi Akande, thank you so much for that update. All right, the